If you've met Barbara, you know she's a people person.
Barbara is a very, very warm human being.
She's an extremely generous person.
She's just a joy to know, and joyfulness is one of the things she does bring.
She brings in such a vitality to whatever she is doing. It's inspiring for us.
We have been loyal friends for, I say, 17 years, and have kind of learned over that time when I put my pastoral hat on and when I put my friend hat on. And
she was my supervisor for my music education classes at the University of Washington. Barbara is one of the most remarkable teachers I've ever had.
Well, I've known her for quite a few years. We taught music at the same time here in Seattle.
She was an administrator at Seattle Public Schools when I started teaching at Cleveland High School, 1967.
And she became a strong person leading the rest of us music teachers.
I taught in the public schools in Seattle. I became a teacher and a music teacher and started at Meany Junior High.
She also at the same time learned in the central area here about African musics through a good friend. And that led into another thing. She had now visited, over the years, she visited at least 4 countries in Africa.
She has such a deep love of African music. She's told me she's been to Africa 20-some times.
So I thought, why don't I get my ear to appreciate African music, traditional African music, in the same way that I'm expecting them to appreciate Bach. Like, that's even Stephen, it sounds fair to me.
She is an ethnomusicologist, and so she has background in African music in particular, and I learned a lot about African music from her.
We have actually taught class together, and also I was impressed with her work. Yeah, how she approaches and be able to give her knowledge to the student or pass the knowledge on to the student. Very interesting, very good.
Barbara loves Africa. It is such a part of her fiber. She goes there when she can. Since I've known her, she's made 3 trips there.
Went with Barbara on a trip to Tanzania, and our goal was to go to a village called Chamwino Village. We met a couple of other folks there that were professors of music, one from Seattle Pacific and another one from University of Washington. And Barbara was going there to encourage, support in, I think this was their 2nd annual music festival of the Wagogo people in the area, and it was in Chamwino Village, really a big event.
I invited a master's degree student that I met in my friend's house in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, to come to the U.S. for a month.
Barbara had invited a young man from Tanzania. His name was Kedman. But when he got here, she just helped him settle in. For a while, he lived right here at the Hearthstone. And so he became a fabric of this senior adult community.
But now, Kedman Mapana has his doctorate and is doing a fine job and is head of the department at the University of Dar es Salaam.
Her experience kind of goes above and beyond when we say get involved in your neighborhood. It goes across the ocean. It's nice to share in her stories here at the Hearthstone that we feel we were there as well.
She's been very active the whole time she's been here. Her strength, of course, is music, but she also has brought in some wonderful African people that she has sponsored. They've been part of our community from time to time, to the point that we actually learned some Swahili in order to greet them and say thank you and please to them in their own language.
Barbara really contributes to life here at the Hearthstone by her involvement in all the musical aspects as well as just her view of life.
Well, I tell you what, this community is just heavy duty. I love people here. They've been very patient.
I know she's very active in the Hearthstone community, and she leads the choir.
Consider yourself our mate. We don't have no fuss.
The Hearthstone started out as 2 groups, a group of men, a quartet of men and a quartet of women, and then they got joined together and they became the Hearthstones. So she started out with a small group, and it's now up to about 40 members, and they meet once a week and practice and learn music. And she's a masterful teacher. She works with them very well, and they do programs for us, about 4 times a year, usually seasonal.
Music is everything to me. It has been a gateway to other people, other cultures. It's been a life of richness in terms of just the aesthetic part of life.
She is so patient and understanding and kind. It's amazing how much she can do here because she has those abilities to work with people.
Barbara is a senior star, I think, because she encourages people to continue to grow.
I know she's a very caring human being.
She sees the glass as half full, no matter what, and has that ability then to lift the spirits of other people around her with that sense of hope. And
she's a helpful person who's a person of the faith who teaches others, learns and counsels others.
That's star power, when you are influencing other people to be the best they can be. She's just excellent at that.